red zone.
Gotcha.
But once that's gone, I can take that away and then replace up the cost of League Pass if I decide to go that route.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the game that we play at this point, right? Is how much are they going to get out of me per month? And I cut off, like I said, I cut off the Xbox thing. And I used to get
what did that run you? Like $20 a month?
Yeah, it used to be like 15, 16, 17 a month. They doubled it to like 30. And I'm like,
oh my God, really?
Yeah. And like, I mean, they
sold
it, and I get it, dude. Like, I'm probably not the target demographic for Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass or whatever at this point, because I'm 40 years old. I play basically sports games and Grand Theft Auto.
You still play Grand Theft Auto?
Oh, dude, I still play GTA 5 on the regular. I love that game.
Which one is 5? Is that which is Vice City 3?
Well, Vice City was between like 3 and 4. That was back. Yeah, that was years ago. GTA 4 was when they did the expanded world in New York, like, what is Liberty City, New York. GTA 5 has now gone through three different levels of console, because it started on like the 360, then it went to the Xbox One, now it's on the Series X. I've owned it on every console. That's the one in Los Santos, basically Los Angeles,
right?
Yeah.
Which one is San Andreas?
Well, that one was by itself, so that one was also kind of in the Los Santos LA universe, but
go ahead.
I'm not really the target demographic, and it's not their big selling point was you get more access to more games and free downloads, and I'm like, man, I play what I play. I don't have a ton of time to donate to gaming, so it's like it's not for me anymore. And I used to do the NHL Center Ice thing, but they years ago, like I don't know, 10 years ago or something
is that the streaming service, right?
That's basically League Pass for the NHL.
Okay, right. So
you can watch every game. But they restructured the TV markets in the NHL, and where I live in South Central Pennsylvania, I'm now in the TV market for Washington, D.C. and the Capitals. So my games on that were blacked out. So there was no point to me to buy that service anymore. And then one of the big reasons I'd gone to YouTube TV was because then NBC Sports Washington, now Monumental Sports, was on YouTube TV. That's what carries all the Caps home games. Well, in the world of the ESPN and ABC and Fox and all those contract disputes, YouTube TV and Monumental Sports had the same deal. It expired, no longer on there. So now I am subscribed to 1 year of Monumental Sports Plus, which is its own streaming service. So that gives me
what does that run you?
They ran a special, and I think it was like 120 for the year. So we're really not that bad. It gives
20
me
a month.
It gives me all of the Capitals games. It gives me like Wizards and Mystics and all of that stuff if I choose to.
That's like FanDuel Sports here, because the Heat games on here.
Yeah,
but they kind of screw you though, because like I'm in South Florida, so you can get a package of either the Heat and the Rays, or the Marlins or the Magic, but they do this shit on purpose, make one get both, because they cross city the fucking teams. I can't stand that. It's stupid.
Yeah, so with Monumental, with Monumental, like I wouldn't get Commanders games or anything, because
anyway.
But they're not owned. So Monumental Sports is the ownership group of the Capitals, Mystics, Wizards, I think DC United, and something like that. There's some other like smaller sports and stuff. So like that's I get all of that stuff included. There's 2 channels, and then they have like their own content that they create, like little documentaries or feature packages and things. So I mean, I get it for the Capitals games. It gets me, and I can watch it on my phone if I'm not at home. Like a couple weeks ago, I was up at the Hershey Bears game. and I was watching it from my seat during intermission. So it's worth it because I get to see the Capitals. That's
Yeah. And here's the thing, I always say this on the show, like I'm a capitalist, this and that. But
Yeah.
look, companies don't do what they're going to do. But if you have to use your voice. If you want to be able to have an impact, use your voice. Stop buying the stuff. Because if you keep buying the material, buying the streaming services, and just giving up on that, they're justifying themselves in raising prices every year anyway. So they'll stop raising prices and you stop doing that. But people don't listen. They want to make the sacrifice.
Exactly. And I mean, and I've seen like that's kind of the debate everybody's going through with the YouTube TV. Everybody wants to blame.
Well, who's at fault, you think?
Both of them.
Why both?
Well, because obviously Disney and ESPN, they want people to go over to the new app and the new service. They also want to get more money out of YouTube TV, and YouTube TV wants to get more money out of Disney. So here's the deal. The reason I say that they're both at fault is because, first off, they're both, it's Google versus Disney. Okay. Neither of those companies are in it for the consumer. Neither of those companies are, probably the most uprighteous or upstanding or, philanthropic or whatever. They're billion-dollar corporations. They want to get as much out of you and out of their business deals as possible. They want to pay the least and get the most back. So, it literally in the last, what are we in early November, in the last 2 months, this is the third contract dispute with YouTube TV and TV partners, because going into the first week of college football, it was the Fox networks. They're like, you're going to lose Fox. And I think it was Ohio State, Texas, right? Like this is in jeopardy. You're not going to be able to see this game. They came to an agreement at the 11th hour. Then it was NBC and all the Comcast channels. Like, you're not going to be able to see Sunday Night Football. And then again, at the 11th hour, they were able to come to an agreement. And then now this ESPN one, they didn't come to an agreement. We're now going on, I think, 7 days or whatever of them not having it together. And then everybody's pointing the finger at Disney and ESPN, because the other ones were able to get the deal done, right? And
right.
Deals done in the past. But here's the thing, man. Yeah, they've gotten the deals done in the past, but when I first subscribed to YouTube TV, I think it was let's see. So I put in at Xfinity. I think I got YouTube TV in like 2022 or 2023.
Oh, you're late. You one of the late guys. Okay.
Well, I was, because I had DirecTV for a while, and we switched to Xfinity when we got Xfinity Internet and TV in my town. So I got the introductory packages at that point.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay.
I got those cheap, the cheap TV prices for the first 2 years. And then once they weren't cheap anymore, we said, F it, let's look elsewhere. And that was also the year that YouTube TV was getting the Sunday ticket deal. So it's like, all right, let's go sign up for that. Right. And at that point, I think it was like $61.99. So I wasn't in it like the $28 or $40 or whatever it was everybody else was in it. But I was in it like $60 3 years ago. Guess what? It's now $84. And spoiler alert, it's probably going to go up again because they just made new deals with Fox and NBC. Because that's kind of been the gimmick with them, is you have these threats of the services going off, and then somebody saves the day at the 11th hour. And then like 6 months later, when you forget that there was the negotiations and you might lose your programming, oh, hey, we want to give you the best product possible. Here's $13 more in price. So it's not really that much cheaper than cable anymore, because I actually started doing the math, right, when we've had these disputes, because I'm like, okay, let's just hypothetically say we lose NBC and ESPN and ABC and all of that.
Right.
Well, I want to be able to watch the shows and things that I like to watch. So I started doing the map, and I started mapping out the channel listings and what the things that we record on DVR and the things that we watch sports wise and all of that, to have equivalent packages on say like Fubo, I think would end up being about $12 more, $15 more. Xfinity, that package I think would be about $15 or $20 more. So guess what? That line is starting to close for YouTube TV, and if their prices go up again, then it's going to close even further.
But I always said this too, and I caught on this way early. As one of the very early cord cutters, because I haven't had cable since 2014, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I've been one of the guys that's figured out how to embrace streaming, But the thing is, we knew this was coming. We knew at some point these low prices that from Netflix are going to end up changing. And now we're here at a point, and the people say, well, I should just kept my cable. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that people don't understand. And I said this early on before it became obvious. The value in streaming isn't about saving on cost now. It's about being able to control the things you want to watch. Now for the first time, you can decide, okay, well, you know what? I don't want Netflix. I'm good. Yep, the programming sucks now. So I can get rid of it, no having to be into a contract. Because people forget too also, when you get when you get cable and you get a package, you're paying for channels you may not use. So if you're not someone that cares about Lifetime or the Food Channel, you're still paying that carriage fee. So the value really is in control of the stuff you get to watch. That's all.
But here's the thing: if you pay for HBO Max, you're not watching everything on HBO Max.
But the odds are you will at least have. Well, again, you have the choice. You get to decide on their content. HBO as a company now is trying to make variety of content now to make it plausible for people like myself and you, whatever, to stay. I don't know. Maybe you don't have HBO Max. I'm not sure. I do.
I get it through AT&T, but yeah, I don't.
They're as a company are trying to make it even more enticing now to keep that streaming service. So it's about the content they put out in the day.
Yeah,
so but at least as a consumer, you get to opt out of. I don't want that. I'm good. Well,
and I think actually, like with cable companies and now too. I mean, obviously, when you first sign up, like they want to do those. Like Xfinity did. Like they want to do a triple play where you get the phone, TV, and cable for 2 years at this price, and you're locked in. But then, like once you're outside of that, like 2-year initial term, you kind of pay on a monthly basis. So, like once you're out of the you don't have to agree to a contract. You can just, hey, I want this package for this month or whatever, and then that's just what you're going to pay, and so you don't have to lock yourself in. Which if I do end up going back to Xfinity, which may actually even be an option.
I was going to ask that. Are you considering looking at the cable?
Yeah, I actually am because I'm looking at it and like I don't want to have to keep like mooching off of a friend to watch stuff on ESPN or ABC.
Oh, I have no problem with that whatsoever. They do it for me. People do it for me. So
and I know that the friend that shared it with me, he does not mind, and I certainly. I shared, we share as much as we can until the services start locking you down like Netflix did. And I think even Hulu has started playing that game a little bit. I
have the what I just recently did, the Disney bundle now. So I used to have the bundle where it was Disney, Hulu, and ESPN. Now that we are able to have more choices now, the wife decided to make it Disney, Hulu. No. Well, Disney, Hulu, and HBO Max, opposed to ESPN. Yeah. So,
well, and it's like I think the thing that just like frustrates me is like when I as I've been trying to shop around to look at different companies, right? Mm-hmm. There's not any one of them that has everything channel that I watch. Like I don't even care about some of the like channels that I don't watch, whatever. If they're in a package that I end up paying for and I just don't really watch them, big deal. But like there is a certain, the 25 channels or whatever that have stuff on that she or I watch. Mm-hmm. There's not one single service that has like all of them. So it's just like it's annoying. Like I think that's what I said to her is I'm just like I like it, especially with this ESPN thing. I certainly don't fault anybody. And I was actually having a back and forth with a guy on Twitter tonight about it because I saw him say like, I'm not caving to Disney, and you shouldn't either. And I was just like, man, like telling anybody what they should or shouldn't do with their TV service, right now is to me is just kind of wild. Like
it is wild. Yeah, I agree.
Like, I watch TV when I'm done working, and I'm done with all the other shit I have to do, and I want to sit in front of my TV and either watch sports or watch a show and brain rot for a couple hours before I go to bed. I don't want to have to fucking go to war, so to speak, with a cable company or a TV company or a media company, because they're in the end, to me, they're both greedy pricks trying to get more money out of me. And like he and I were kind of going back and forth, and I was like, look, I don't fault anybody that makes that decision to draw the line at ESPN and Disney, but like for me, I'm also not going to feel bad if I end up canceling YouTube TV and going to Fubo or going to Hulu or going to back to Xfinity, so I can just see the shit that I want to see when I'm done doing all of the other shit in my day.
What's your favorite streaming service?
Well, I'll discount Monumental Plus because that's solely for the NHL.
Right.
My favorite one, I would say it's probably still Netflix. I think right now I'm watching the most stuff on there, obviously, and that's even taking away Monday Night Raw. I'm certainly not a every week wrestle watcher at this point in my life.
I know how you could do it, bro. I can't.
I do, dude. Like, I mean, I actually watched Raw last week, and I think it was the first time easily in 7 or 8 weeks that I had watched it.
Wow. I mean, do you just watch recaps though, like on YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, I check social media, I see what's going on, I see highlights, I'll check highlights, and so I'm aware of things. I watch pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So
the PLEs definitely are, and that's that's the conundrum though, because now we need ESPN to make that work.
That's why I borrow a friend's credentials.
Yeah, I tried to borrow my buddies, but apparently his direct TV service, you can only do one.
That's the stupid TV game they play too.
Yeah, man, it's tough, bro. It's hard in these streets, bro. Look, I already said there's only one way that ESPN get that fucking app though. You know what it is? It's not the NBA. No, it is actually if they do acquire the library.
The WWE library?
Yes. That is the only way you can get my ass to. And
they certainly might. They certainly might.
Yeah, and that's also assuming too. Also, they disbanded WWE Vault, because right now WWE Vault is supposed to, I guess, is going to be the what it is now until they sell off those parts.
Yeah, because I think the deal with Peacock, and don't hold me to this, but I think the deal with Peacock goes through the end of next year.
I thought it was this year.
I thought it was 2026, and again, I could be entirely wrong. I've lost track of all of these things. There's way too many dates and things to remember. Because if it was 2025, I feel like we'd be hearing stuff about the negotiation process, and they would probably have a deal in place or would have one in place soon, and maybe it's in like early 2026 or something. So I could be wrong about it being at the end. But yeah, either way, I mean, if it's within the next year, we should be hearing something about it soon, because usually you don't wait to the 11th hour to get those deals done.
Okay, so all right, so the library and PLEs on NXT remain on Peacock into 2026. Okay. The original deal had the PLEs originally set to expire in March 2026. So I'm assuming March/April 2026 is where the deal is probably going to cut off.
So here's the deal: we'll probably get an announcement on that around Royal Rumble time, would be my guess.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing, though, too. Also, what's different? What's changed now is that they've not really changed a lot, but Raw has a home, SmackDown has a home. So basically, what you're acquiring is nostalgia. Nostalgia from a month from now to 40 something plus damn years of events and whatnot. So. It's not. I don't think there's a rush yet to a company to grab that library just yet.
No.
Especially the fact that the WWE Vault is a thing, and basically everything that's on the Peacock is in the vault for free on YouTube. So there you go.
I'm also curious to see if/when they get a deal somewhere, if some of the vault content on YouTube might disappear.
Yeah, I guarantee you, if they make a deal,
you might have stuff go on there, but then it'll go away. Like they'll premiere stuff, and then they'll have like a little blip at the bottom, like,
yeah, of course,
watch more content like this. Go to ESPN Unlimited.
But I'm trying out, if indeed they make a deal with whoever company they do it with, whether it was Reno, Peacock, ESPN,
right, hypothetically, let's call it ESPN.
Right. The material that's there right now will slowly go away once the business plays, because they want the eyeballs to go that way. Because if you can watch WrestleMania 3 for free on YouTube,
right, why would I get the ESPN?
Why would I? You know what I'm saying? So why would I do that? That makes no goddamn sense.
Exactly.
You know. So, but that's capitalism 101 in 2025 in this
That's
America.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right.
Hey, how about your Cowboys?
Oh, how about them?
5-1. Oh God, what a letdown too, bro. Because I thought we'd be a little bit. Even after the Micah trade, I thought, okay, fine. Micah does hurt losing him, but they're still gonna be pretty good. You still got Dak and the boys, and whatnot, and 3-5-1. And I'm also frustrated too, because this year, you guys make fun of me on Hull all the time about me being a fan, but this year I'm actually a fan though.
Right. Well, you're a fan of consumerism, and that's what's at stake. It's not a Cowboys fandom. It's a fandom of winning money from a friend.
Selfishly, I want them to win for selfish reasons.
Right. Yeah, it's been crappy. Look, man, like I knew going into the year that this year was gonna be a struggle. I think on Twitter, I actually predicted at the start of the season. I think I had them at, I think it was 6-11 was my final prediction on them. But the problem is, I had them winning some of the games they've lost. Okay. Right. I think I had them beating Carolina, and I think I had them beating Arizona. I think I might have had the Bears as a loss, because I felt like going to Chicago, it might just be one of those stupid games that you lose. So they're 2 games off my pace, right? And so if the rest of my prediction holds, they'll end up at 4-13, which their only remaining win would be against the Raiders. Now here's the thing: I think they might find a way to beat Washington or the Giants at the end of the year, when it doesn't matter. But the scary part is that you have the bye week this week, and then you have the Raiders, and then it just gets hard. The schedule gets very hard very fast.
Yeah, they're fucking. They really did. Losing to Green Bay, losing to Arizona on Monday really, really set them back big, I think.
Yeah, it's that one. That one hurt. Obviously, you made the couple of deals at the deadline with Quinnen Williams and I forgetting the guy's name from the Bengals, the linebacker from the Bengals. And here's the thing: those are not deals to salvage 2025. Those are deals because when you really look at where this team is at with Dak and CeeDee Lamb and this offense and some of the pieces on defense, you have about a 2 to 3 year window to really, with this group of players, make a run. And getting the pieces that you got at the deadline, and with the draft capital from the Micah trade, you're setting yourself up for the ability to add some more pieces to try and make this run. Right. So I knew this year was going to stink. So it's actually worse than so far than I thought. The offense for the most part has been really, really good. You've had a couple of games, the Chicago game and this past Monday, where the offense has kind of let out a dud. But the problem is for the rest of the season so far, the offense is putting up 30 plus points a game and they're losing or tying. And that sucks. Because you should never be in a position when you need your offense to score every drive. So I'm here's what I'm hoping, that you made a couple of deals, that the defense will improve a little bit. And even if your defense can just get a little bit better, maybe it gives you a chance to beat looking over the schedule past the Raiders, Philly, KC, Detroit, Minnesota, Chargers, Washington, New York. Maybe the defense getting a little bit better gives you a chance to beat a Chiefs team that's not clicking completely. A Lions team that, although what I think is, at least top 3 in the NFC, we have seen moments where that offense sputters. Maybe you can catch them on one. Vikings, they've had an up and down spot. Chargers are banged up. So maybe you can get lucky on a couple of them. Certainly not expecting a win in those games. But if your defense can have a little bit of a pulse, maybe it gives you a shot. But it's been frustrating. I do like Schottenheimer, though. I really do. I think Brian Schottenheimer, that experiment, despite being 3-5-1, has been much better than expected. I think that he does bring a different feel, optics, a word you love, to the offense. I think the players really like him on both sides of the ball. He doesn't seem to be like a lost dog, and I think that was my fear. But if you look around the league, man, this has kind of been a trend. Sirianni, O'Connell, McVay. There's coaches who started out as coordinators that get head coaching jobs and find success. So, I'm hoping that they give him time. 3 to 4 years.
And Jerry's good about that. I will say, probably too good, to be honest with you, because there are guys who are there probably 3 or 4 years more than they should. Like,
Jason Garrett got the longest leash because he was a Cowboys player. So Jerry loved him because he was one of his players. But
should I say not anyone not named Jimmy Johnson, of course, who you win 2 Super Bowls, you still get fired months after. Makes no sense, but whatever.
I mean, at least watching that documentary, they both kind of admitted that they were both,
really good doc though.
Really good documentary, good documentary. And they both admitted, like, look, we're both stubborn guys, and we, neither of us would extend the hand. So they both admitted it. Doesn't make me feel any better, because the Cowboys probably should have won at least 2 or 3 more Super Bowls in the 90s. If that whole situation didn't break down. But so I do hope that he continues that trend with Schottenheimer, because I think he is going to be really good.
I do like. I actually get the same vibe you do with Schottenheimer too. Also, that he's pretty decent. But the documentary, I can't stop thinking about it. And this Jerry Jones dude. I mean, I tell you what, man. You just have to accept this is who he is. He's not going to change. You as a Cowboys fan, you need to decide you're okay with that until he decides to go, whatever. This is who he is. I mean, I think he does care about winning. He also cares about making money as well too. I also think he wants to be the reason they win. And I think that Jimmy Johnson fire in 1994, 31 years later, that should have been your biggest clue.
Yeah. I think Jerry Jones likes the idea of winning. But ultimately, I think Jerry Jones, and here's the thing. Jerry Jones is a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
He is. He made a ton of money in the oil business, and that's why he bought the Cowboys. So he's a businessman. He's about making money. He's instilled that in his kids, most notably Steven, who will probably be running the team when Jerry no longer can. Steven likes to make money. They set it into a microphone after the playoffs lost 2 years ago, and the playoff loss a year ago. So they admit it. They love when people talk about them because it makes them money.
Yeah.
So as long as they're making money, I think there's a degree of they're okay with not being Super Bowl champions. Again, I think Jerry would love to win another Super Bowl. He says it. I don't know if it's 100% genuine because a week before, he said this Monday after the game that he wants to win another Super Bowl while he's still capable of running the team.
Yeah.
A week ago, he said in an interview that he made $150 million on a single natural gas deal with this new gas project that him and his company is working on. And this gas deal that he was having a conference call about was the reason why he wasn't making deals to fix the Cowboys defense that day. So I can't fully buy in on the idea that Jerry loves or wants to win, because if you want to win, truly want to win, you would turn the keys over to somebody to run the football side. But he wants the control of the situation. So as long as he has the control and he's making money, then there's a degree of sacrifice of victory that he's okay with. And that's what's frustrating as a fan.
Yeah, I see the quote here. He goes, he was talking about how the fact that, quote, it's $100 billion present value of gas out there that he said. That's why I'm talking to you on the telephone rather than trying to fix our defense with the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, and then here's the thing, the thing is, that's hard is that unless Cowboy fans really get stubborn and really stop putting money in his pocket, like buying the merch, stop selling out games, stay home, he's not going to change. Like, he's 83 years old. This is who he is, and he's always been this flamboyant. And to his credit, it has worked because the Cowboys are still, look, they are still
a relevant brand, a relevant name. Yeah, and that's the point.
Which is so fucking weird because they're so boring as shit, Jim. Let's be real. Are they? Like, if you look at the Cowboys, outside Jerry Jones, forget the history. Look at this Cowboy team right now with Dak Prescott, who is fucking literally mayonnaise personality.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's not more. He's not interesting.
No, you don't have to apologize to me. It's true. But here's the thing: I'm fine with it. I don't need Michael Irvin as my quarterback. Like I don't. Yeah. I don't need that. I'm fine. Look. Give me Jared Goff, bro. Give me Jared Goff. That dude's boring as shit. He plays football. He lives football. He loves his wife, loves his daughter, and he plays football. That's it. Yeah. We saw the quarterback documentary. There's nothing to that dude.
That story's great.
Dude, he goes to the cookout after a game. Like,
he went fair on the season 2.
I like Goff a lot. A lot.
Yeah. Although Kirk Cousins is really cool too. Very corny, but it's cool.
Very corny. Cool. But he seems like a fun guy. But like, yeah, I'm fine with that. But yeah, I mean, the Cowboys are boring. I mean, it's a good offense. The flashiest thing about him is right now George Pickens. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing exciting about the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't say that insultingly. It's just a fact. But like the reason Jerry being the way he is has made it easier for me to, like, on Monday night, the Cowboys go 2 drives, fail to score. Cardinals get a 10-point lead. I looked at my wife and I said, if the Cowboys don't score on this drive, I'm turning it off. And Ferguson fumbled on 3rd down, and I put on Monday Night Raw, and I didn't look back. So like, it makes it, and that was never me. That was never me. Like, I would stick through that shit until the painful end, and I just don't do it anymore. And it's why, we make jokes over on Huddle Up about me being the Chargers fan, but like that sort of thing was something that a decade ago was like verboten for me. Like, I would not even like make a joke about being a fan of another team.
That's called maturity, buddy.
Right? Because like here's the deal, and I always say this because like I kind of treat baseball. I kind of have quote unquote 2 teams in baseball, the Orioles and the Phillies. But if the Orioles play the Phillies like they did in a 3-game series this past summer,
Shit,
Orioles
back in the
all
day
the way.
when we were kids, if you ever thought about having 2 teams, you'd be fucking ostracized from every group you were
Right?
trying to get
It's
involved
like,
in.
how stupid
Seriously,
is that?
2 teams.
And
Now I got 45.
right, exactly. But like, if the Orioles and Phillies were to get to the World Series against each other, sorry, even to my wife and some of my best friends, go Orioles. Like, I'm an Orioles fan at the true heart of me, and that would be the team that I'm rooting for. So like, I've always liked Jim Harbaugh, and so that is why I'm a quote unquote Chargers fan, because like it gives me something that's actually exciting. It gives me something that, and I'm not, there's no super attachment there. So if the Chargers lose, a big deal. It's a bummer and they lost, but like, when they win, it's exciting, and I do, like I said, I enjoy Jim Harbaugh, and so it's kind of fun to see the success there. But like that would be unheard of for me years ago, and it's just because I'm going, man, and I honestly think, because I saw somebody, I think it was a beat writer for the Cowboys,
Okay.
said, what was the moment where you as a fan like got broken to the point where like you stopped caring the same way? And I go back to 2 years ago, and it was the
Packers loss?
Packers
The playoffs?
lost.
Oh
Packers
boy.
lost. Because man, you were so good in the regular season, and you're at home, and like everything's set up. You had beaten, I think it was Detroit the week before, because it was the second round, and it was like, man, this team's clicking, they're rolling, everything looks good, and Green Bay just comes in and freight trains them in their own building.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there just so pissed after the game, and that's where I heard the Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones quote.
Yeah.
Where like they were basically almost verbatim, were like, it really doesn't matter, because tomorrow on ESPN, they're going to be talking about us, and that's going to make us money. And I went, why the fuck am I breaking myself up about
that's the thing I've always asked. Like, what is one's breaking point when it comes to teams? Because all they are just teams you can let go easy, but yet we're so like,
we get diehard, we
so
get
loyal.
so pissed.
But what is your breaking point? Like, we joke about it a lot too, you and I, about like, okay, I'm done with the Cowboys, but you still are a Cowboys fan. Like, is there
I'll always be a Cowboys.
Is there a limit though where you really do check out? What has to happen for you to check out really as a fan?
I mean, so I think in a way I already have, right? Like, because I'm not the same fan I was a few years ago. I love them. I will still, like, when they're on, I turn the games on. Now we always get the Red Zone channel, so that's all. We have 2 TVs in our living room. Red Zone's always on the big TV. And then we have a smaller TV, and I'll put on one of the other 2 games that's on, or if, like, say the Capitals are playing on a Sunday afternoon, I'll put that on.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys are on, that goes on the second TV, and because we use Roku devices, I will put an earbud in. I'll connect it through Bluetooth through my Roku app, and I'll listen to the commentary on the Cowboys game, because yes, I am a Cowboys fan, always will be, right, wrong, or indifferent, unless Jerry or somebody in ownership or something in the team does something really morally reprehensive.
Yeah.
And it would actually force me to make a choice. But like right now, just them being bad, bro. Again, for those that don't know me, I've lived in central Pennsylvania my entire life, but I the only Philadelphia team that I'm even a fan of is the Phillies. They've won the Phillies won 1 World Series in my lifetime, 2008.
Yep.
The Washington Capitals, you see the banner up above my head here. Only Stanley Cup in franchise history, 2018. Still hard to believe that it's real, right?
Yeah.
Notre Dame, they won the national championship when I was 3. The Cowboys, of course, 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. The last one that was won, I was 10. That'll be 30 years ago. This January.
1995. What a good year.
And then the Orioles have never won a title in my lifetime.
Yeah, the 83 is the last one, right?
83 was their last World Series.
Yeah,
They went 20 losing seasons.
I saw it
from like the mid 90s into the 2000s. Like, so losing is not going to lose me as a fan. It's when I get the impression that ownership and management does not care. So why am I going to care?
Is it bad if someone decides they want to leave because they're not getting, the product they're getting is not to their liking? Is that bad loyalty? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I think it is, but what my version of fandom is different than others. You know, I am a diehard. I am pretty crazy about it, and I admit that. Like it's kind of a sickness. I mean, I've joked with people for years, like for the last couple of years, as I've grown more and more frustrated, but I've also got, been a little bit more mature in my fandom, is I've been like, man, if I could go back to like 7-year-old me and be like, don't pick the cow. It seems like a good choice now. Okay, I get it. They just won a Super Bowl, really good team. Everything looks great. Like, it looks a lot of fun, right? This looks to be a ton of fun. But it's gonna get worse, and it's gonna stay worse. But like, really, if we're just talking about NFL, if you look over the last 30 years, right? There's, besides the Patriots, and now more recently the Chiefs to a degree, like, it's not like being a fan of one team is going to give you a lifetime of the ultimate success.
No,
because the Eagles have won 2, the Giants, they won 2 20 years ago. Washington.
It's been 13 years since the last one.
Close
enough.
Washington hasn't won one since before the Cowboys did. The 49ers. Like, I jokingly, and don't get me wrong, they've gotten closer, but like 49ers fans, like, dogging on Cowboys fans for how long it's been since they won one,
and they haven't won one longer than you guys.
I was like, it'll be 31 this year,
yeah,
most likely. Obviously I can't see the future, but
they've gone to 3 since, though. 2 since.
They have gone to 3. Like I said, they've gotten closer at least, but ultimately they haven't won one. So like that's just losing, for me, is not going to break it, but like, not everybody's me. So I might tease people about it, friends of mine, like if they're quicker to hop off. But honestly, most of my friends, we've picked our teams, and we suffer and deal with it and get hurt year in, year out, like grown adults should.
Yeah, if you had told to use the same 30-year radius, 15-year-old me, because I guess I'm old, that 30 years later, the Cowboys, the Niners, the Bears, the once upon a time Redskins will never win another title in those 30 years. I would say, get out of here. If you knew how important those teams were back in the 90s, early 90s, you never would have thought that. Never even considered that a thought.
It's crazy, I mean, well, then look at the look at the NHL. Look at like the 80s and early 90s. It was the Islanders, the Oilers, the Canadians. The Rangers had one in the early 90s.
Yep.
Nothing since then. Devils, nothing since then. So like, it's just kind of the way the Flyers. Flyers are one of the most recognized brands in the NHL. They haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1975.
It's insane.
Yeah. So it for me, it's like, I am loyal to a fault in a lot of ways when it comes to, I sent an Instagram video to my wife the one day, and it was like, it was this woman. She's like, how I know I'm not worried about my man being unloyal, and she just shows he's wearing a Dallas Cowboys hat.
That's phenomenal.
Because like, if he's still a Cowboys fan, he's gonna be fine. And that's like what I said. Like when I was growing up, obviously, again, when I started watching the NFL, the Cowboys were on all the time. It wasn't
Yeah.
regional coverage, it was national coverage. So the Cowboys were on all the time. That's really kind of the main reason why I became a Cowboys fan. As I started watching it, it's like, oh, these guys are on every week, and I like the star on the helmet, and Michael Irvin's flashy, and Emmitt Smith's really good running back, and defense is good, and you got a different looking stadium with the hole in the roof, and they're America's team. Cool, all right. So like you just kind of start watching them, and I've just attached to it, and it's I with all of my teams, you kind of stick through it, and some years are good, most years are bad. Obviously, we haven't had any playoff success, but it's just what you suffer through.
Yeah. Would you say Notre Dame is probably the number one priority sports wise across the ball, or?
Yeah, currently. Now hockey is my favorite sport, but since I've seen the Capitals win a Stanley Cup.
So if you power rank your importance of teams, college included, how would it go? Okay, give me like the top 3 or 4.
Will be Notre Dame Notre Dame Capitals, Cowboys, Orioles, Phillies.
Okay, makes sense.
But yeah, because I've seen the Capitals win one, certainly would love to see it again. Would really love to see it while Alex Ovechkin's still playing.
900 tonight, might see that?
900th goal, yeah.
Crazy, dude. That's amazing.
Insane. And the wildest part about it, and like right after he scored it, and kind of like was excited about that, I looked at my wife and I'm like, the thing that still kills me is if it wasn't for 1.5 seasons lost to a lockout and 2 COVID shortened seasons, he'd be over 1,000, easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is just, I mean, it's absolutely insane. But I'm glad he got 900. And we'll see how many can add on to it. This is the last year of his contract. He hasn't said like I'm retiring after this year. He said
I thought he did say that.
No, I think there was a lot of speculation. But it's the last year of his contract. Personally, I don't think he'll play anywhere except Washington. So I think it's gonna come down to does he want to continue to play in the NHL? And if he does, do the Capitals want to re-sign him?
Right.
So we'll see how the year plays out. Hopefully he can get through another healthy year. And but I'd love to see them win another one. But honestly, the number one thing, if I could pick anything in sports, would be a Notre Dame national title.
And that also you have not seen. Well, you were what? Maybe
I was 3.
2,
I
3.
I really have not seen it.
It's like being the Mets. Like I was alive for the Mets last World Series.
Yeah, that's why I say I was alive for it. Haven't seen it.
Yeah, and obviously the Rangers I've seen. 14 years old, seen the Rangers win the Stanley Cup. I've seen 3 Heat championships. I've seen 4 to 5 Giants 4 Super Bowls. Although 3 is the one I was really aware of. Like the first one, I was.
Man, the sad thing is, truth be told, like I barely consider myself alive for the Cowboys ones. Like I remember Super Bowl 30 against the Steelers, but I don't really remember Super Bowls 27 and 28 because I was 7 and 8 at that point.
See, I claimed the one in 9 for the Giants because I was actually watching football at that point regularly. Yeah. I still remember the teams we played on that run. I remember I was watching those. I remember I was watching those playoff games. So I was actually invested as a child at 10. So
so I've really only seen the Cowboys win one, but I've not seen Notre Dame win
one. Speaking of Notre Dame, I mean they're back in the picture again. What do you think they're gonna make a playoff?
They should. So they are what is it? 7-2?
Yeah. 7-2.
6-2, 7-2. 6-2 because they have 4 games. Yeah, they have 4 games left to make it 12.
Yeah,
so they play Navy this weekend, Pitt next weekend, then they close out with Syracuse and Stanford. Pitt's the hardest game left. They're currently ranked 23rd.
Pitt's frisky.
Navy always plays physically tough. It's always a physically grueling game for Notre Dame. So here's the thing. Notre Dame should win. They're, I think, a 27-point favorite this Saturday. So they should win out. If they do win out, they will be in the playoff. They came in at number 10 this week. There's not really a position for anybody to like vault over them without beating a team that's above them. So it would be kind of an even trade. So I think when Notre Dame wins out, at worst they'll be 10. They'll will likely rise in the rankings. So yeah, they should get in. I won't say will because they lost to Northern Illinois last year, so nothing's guaranteed.
Ohio State seems like the only like constant there, really, because everything else is wide open.
Yes. Here's what I'll say about Ohio State. Are they the best team in the nation right now? Probably. And I'll even say yes. I won't even give it probably. I'll call them.
That was hard for you. I know that was hard for you to say.
I'll say that they're the best team in college football. Look, they're the defending national champs. They're undefeated. Okay, they're the best team in college football. This is what I'll say about them. They look very good. They look pretty convincing. However, they have not been tested, period, this year. They started the year against Texas, who was number 1 at the time. We've learned that they're a fraud. The only other ranked team they've played so far, Illinois at the time, also proven to be a fraud. So Ohio State really they don't have another challenge in front of them until Michigan at the last game of the year. Ohio State plays Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, and Michigan. So they're going to go 11 games basically untested. I don't think there's any doubt. I think my wife has even probably said it more than I have. Michigan shouldn't be a challenge to Ohio State this year.
Right.
However, Michigan shouldn't have been a challenge to Ohio State last year in Columbus, and we saw what happened there. So I don't think Ohio State truly gets tested until the Big Ten title game, likely against Indiana. So
that story of the year there is Indiana. What they've done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they've been super tested either. They
beat Oregon, right? Yeah,
they did beat Oregon. Which, how good's Oregon? We always.
I mean, people say that's the best win of the year so far. I don't know if I agree with that, but that's
it's up there. I mean, Alabama beating Georgia would like a word a little bit.
I think Georgia's definitely not as good as these old teams, the older teams, obviously.
Oh, none of these teams are. No. None of these teams.
I think it's great. I think NIL is good for. I think NIL is good for college football because at the end of the day, I want to see competition, bro.
Yeah. Another win that would rival it for being one of the better wins is Texas A&M over Notre Dame. Unfortunately for me, the 41-40 in the
especially Notre Dame keeps climbing the way you are in the standings.
Yeah, and I mean the shitty thing about it is it was a bobbled. I never thought I'd see the day where both my NFL team and my college team would lose on bobbled extra point snaps, but here I am, because that's ultimately what did Notre Dame in. But yeah, I mean, Indiana's certainly a good win over Oregon. We always never are 100% sure what Oregon is, but yeah, Indiana looks great. But yeah, in terms of NIL and all of that stuff, I do think it's great, and I think it's leveled the field to the point where, is the SEC the best conference? Sure, you can make the argument, but I think that the mindset is still framed in the old thinking, where like that conference is God and everybody else is trying to be God. And look, we've gone 2 full seasons now without a SEC team not only not winning a national title, we've gone 2 straight years where an SEC team hasn't even made it to the national championship game. Because we remember Michigan versus then in the Pac-12, Washington. And then last year, of course, it was Ohio State and Notre Dame. So the SEC is still very good, but everybody else is going, hey, I'm
funny happens when you water it down slightly. It's a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's
a joke. And again, look, do I think that the SEC was the only conference that had teams that were making deals legal deals? No, I think every major program was pushing the boundaries before it was legal to do so. And now everybody's just doing it above board.
Right. Before we get out of here, you're looking good, bro.
Hey, thanks, man.
The weight loss you told me about, I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it. What have
I've
you been doing with health now?
I've looked back over like podcast videos from, and that's kind of been something that's kind of been nice because I've been able to see a framework in the
Yeah.
same place. Literally, I can take a screenshot here and compare it to something a year ago. Literally same chair, same studio, same everything. Um, I've looked because there's been times I'm like, man, am I really like losing, or am I really like healthier than I was? And I look at like a side by side photo from a year ago, and I'm like, okay, shit, yes, I am.
Yeah.
And I can feel good about it. So yeah, back in the spring, uh, truth be told, my wife's been trying to get me on just a healthier lifestyle for years, and call it laziness, call it denial, whatever it was. I just didn't. And then a couple friends of mine started doing Weight Watchers, and they started losing weight. The 3 count guys, we've even talked about it on the air.
Mhm.
Mark and Ryan started doing Weight Watchers. Like Tim was starting to like check his diet. Matt's always been smaller than all of us, and it sounds so strange and so superficial, but I've told them this, that I didn't want to end up being the fattest guy in the show.
Oh no. Okay.
Or like have everybody else lose, and then I'm just here being me. And it's not that I was never unhappy with myself as a person. But like I'm like, I don't want to be like the really really big guy left in the group, right? If everybody's going to lose weight. So like finally I just was like, okay, let's start like watching what we're eating and walking every day and stuff. So we both downloaded, it's the Lose It app.
Mm-hmm.
And we set like a goal. You basically set
You
like
said
a
what you mean, you and the wife, right?
yeah. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, me and Dana. So we you set like your like a weight goal in the app, and based on like the number of days and the goals you want to hit, it'll set a calorie limit for the day. And then literally just as we're eating, scan the barcode or enter the food. Or if we're going to McDonald's, there's stuff that's, once you save
Yeah.
something in the app, it's
Right.
in the app, anybody can access it. So like it's actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And that was always kind of like the lazy excuse, like, oh, I gotta like measure my food and I gotta do this. So each of us has a portion scale upstairs. I work from home. I have a portion scale by my desk in my office. So if I want like an afternoon snack, I measure, 1 ounce of pretzels, or 1 ounce of veggie sticks or chips or whatever. And it's really actually been easier than I thought. And we just walk. We walk about somewhere between about a mile and a half a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I got like some dumbbells.
Also, all 7 days.
We try to. I mean,
Okay.
certainly if there's if our schedule doesn't allow us, or if it's bad weather or something like that. But we have an exercise bike. I have some dumbbells, like some free weights that I bought.
Weights is very good for you, but I'm telling you, especially as you get older.
Yeah. So like, and it's like you don't have to do a ton. Like I have, it's like basically like a 5 to 7 minute routine with the dumbbells that I do, and that's plenty for me right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The key is consistency. Like you don't have to go crazy diet or this and that. Just balance it out. Eat more protein. Walk more. Watch what you're eating. Don't go crazy on the sugar. Like I mean, obviously gonna have a little bit of sugar here and there, but just don't go crazy.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. And I think people trick themselves thinking they have to go the full tilt and look, if you could do that, great. I'm not discouraging not to do that and go to full tilt if you can do it. But it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. I tried it a couple years ago and I couldn't do it. And I will say intermittent fasting has helped me a lot though. That's definitely been the thing that's really kept even when I've gone off the rails a little bit, give myself a window to eat, and then after that, don't eat for 16, 17, 8, whatever how many hours I decide to fast that day. It's really been a game changer for me.
Yeah. So, and I'm not ashamed. Like I'm not ashamed to admit there was a point where I like wouldn't have said the number, and I remember I don't remember exactly when it was, but looking back, it was over 3 years ago was the first time I crossed over 400 pounds.
400
Earlier
pounds, really? That big?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Um,
Nobody guessed that.
but earlier this year in mid-April, was my highest, 422.
Wow.
And Monday. So I've been actually forcing myself because there's been a couple of weeks where usually I weigh myself on Monday morning. Same time of the day, like I get up, take a piss, come back in, weigh myself. But I was starting to fall into this trap where like I'd weigh myself. I'll just step on the scale when I'm getting dressed on Tuesday. Step on the scale when I'm getting but like if you go up, 0.3 pounds because maybe you didn't you're retaining water that day, or
Right.
you ate a little too much, or you drank a couple of beers watching football. So I'm like, Monday's my weigh-in day. So when I weighed myself on Monday, 379.2.
You only weigh yourself on Mondays. That's it, right?
Yeah. I
Okay.
do it once a week, same time every week. So it kind of gives me that snapshot. But yeah, 379.2. So I'm down what was that? 30 or no, over 40 pounds
There you go. It's amazing.
since April. Yeah.
And to me, like for me, anyway, you live in Florida in the weather. This is the time of year where I should be on the gas now because I love walking. Because with walking, I get to do two things. Obviously, exercise and whatnot, but also put some headphones, throw some podcasts. And so I can catch them on my podcast. I'm behind on and doing that walk. And
You go by yourself?
Say it again.
Like when you go walking, you go by yourself?
I prefer, you know what's funny? I'm one of those people that I prefer. Like I don't mind going with people, but yeah, I go by myself. I prefer it that way. Honestly, you know why? My speed, my entertainment. I lose myself for and now I'm doing 4 hours a day now. 4 miles a day rather.
Nice.
Which is like about an hour and 15 minutes to do, but it does a lot for me. Like, and for me, with the walking, to me especially, obviously there's a lot of physical things you get out of that, but the mental clarity you get after a walk, that's the win right there. That's the win.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I usually it's my wife and I, like we've kind of been doing this together. So we each have an hour lunch break. We both work from home, so we'll eat a quick lunch and we go for a walk, because really we actually learned that walking like right after a meal actually helps with everything to metabolize. And
oh absolutely. They say if you walk about 10-15 minutes after a meal, it actually, especially if you eat like a lot of carb heavy stuff, or even like anything with sugar, it limits the spike of your glucose rise.
Yeah. So that's kind of even like the reason we just started doing like even like a 10-minute walk, because like again I was not in a good way, really, when we started it. So doing a pretty short walk was about all we could do. And we've kind of upped it a little bit. We go a little bit further, and then in the evening, so it's after lunch and after dinner, is when we go and we do it together now. And here's the thing, and this was like one of the like first times that it really started to click with me that I've gotten this into a routine for me, and I'm a routine person. I like to kind of know what I'm doing and just kind of attack everything the same way. So there was it was maybe June or July. My wife had a meeting like during her lunch hour, so she wasn't able to go with me. So I sit in, I eat my lunch, and I throw in my earbud and I just left. And I got partway down the street from my house, and I was like, oh, I'm walking by myself.
Yeah.
So like, because normally if I'm like, oh, she's not doing it, that's an excuse where I can just sit on the couch and throw on the Xbox for a half hour.
Also, I walk too fast for my wife, so like that wouldn't work, and so I'd walk too slow for her to catch up with me, and then I get frustrated. So it doesn't work really, honestly. For us.
we actually have a pretty good pace with each other. So and so yeah, we go, like I said, and now, I mean, it's funny. So this week now with the time change, we get done work at 5:00 and we eat dinner. It's dark, so we've had we have street lights, and sidewalks.
Yeah, of
and
course.
stuff. But we take a flashlight because there's spots where the street lights don't hit, and I'm like, it almost feels like we're doing something illegal, like walking at night. But I'm like, I'm not gonna let nighttime stop me from what I'm doing. I'm not, and as up here in Pennsylvania, where we get colder weather, but I'm like, I golf when it's 35, 40 degrees, so like I can walk for a little bit. I can put a jacket on, put pants on, and just go for a quick walk, get the blood flowing. Now, obviously, if it's sub-zero or snow on the ground, we will have to stay in and use our resources in the house. But yeah, I'm not gonna let winter derail me, and because like, man, like, so I'm a huge Christmas guy. I have a ton of Christmas shirts. I think I have enough that I can wear a different one from Black Friday through Christmas.
Wow, that's what, 32
days,
31 days.
A little over 30. But I also have a couple of Thanksgiving shirts, and it started years ago. There's this like discount retail store up here that had a like brown tie-dye shirt just with like not like a cartoon turkey or not like a carved cooked turkey. It was literally like the bird, a turkey's face, and it just said Turkey Day on it. But I bought it, and after about like 1 or 2 years, I literally grew out of it. I grew too fat for it. So I was pulling my stuff out because I wanted to get an assessment on if any of my Christmas shirts are too big for me now. And I pulled this one out, and then my mom and stepdad had gone to the Christmas Story house in Cleveland, and they got me a t-shirt from there.
Nice.
And it was a 3X, and it has never fit me. I tried both the Turkey Day shirt and I tried that Christmas Story shirt on today, and they fit me. And like, dude, I literally I don't even remember the last time I put on a 3XL t-shirt and had it fit.
And you're still going at it, man, which is good.
Yeah, because it feels good, and it sounds so funny because I mean, I think I rearranged them, so I don't have any jerseys hanging up behind me anymore. But
you have the three CT stuff for tomorrow. The old wrestling stuff.
I'm a big jersey guy. I have hockey jerseys, football jerseys, baseball jerseys. But over the last couple of years, as I've gotten bigger, I've joked, like, when I go to games with my dad or my brother, I'm like, man, this jersey has shrunk since the last time I wore it. Haha, funny, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So one of the things I said, look, I really don't have a number, like a number of weight that I want to get to. I'm like, I want to be healthier. Like, I'm turning 40 this year. I want to be healthier. I need to be healthier. Like, it's not even want at this point. It's need. Like, I went on a blood pressure medicine this year. First time I've ever actually been on a required medicine.
Is it Losartan?
Yes.
I have the same thing. I do 50 milligrams a day.
Yeah, it's a low dose, but it was high enough that she's like, we have to address it. Last year my A1C was 5.9. I got it down to 5.2 this year.
Mm-hmm.
So like, but one of the goals, and again, didn't have a number, is like, I want my sports jerseys to fit better. And they do. So I actually wore one. I went to a Hershey Bears game a couple weeks ago that I hadn't worn in like 3 seasons. So, and it's these little wins, and it's like, man, in a year that's been pretty frustrating overall, in a lot of ways, this has been one thing that really has been a positive.
Would you say this has had a positive impact on your mental health? Because you've been very vocal about that publicly, about some of your issues with anxiety and whatnot. So I'm wondering if maybe this has actually done something.
For sure. And I even said to my counselor, I think at my last appointment, a couple weeks ago, that I finally understand what people would say when there's like that workout high or runner's high.
Yeah.
Just because, I work basically 4 hours, lunch break 4 hours. And to not only get an actual break where you get away from the desk and get away from work, but then to get outside, sun, fresh air, and just literally feet hitting the ground, body movement, and just it really is kind of it is therapeutic,
Yeah.
as well as an exercise. So like, it gives my wife and I time to talk during the day, and yeah, it's just it has absolutely helped my mental health. And when you fit into things better, and you can see a wedding band on my hand. I've joked that I've been on a journey with this thing, because at my old job, I used to have to do some more like physical work. So I don't know if you remember, there was a time where like Jimmy Fallon, I think it was maybe like a decade ago, had a situation where he had like fell at his house, and I forget what they call it, but basically his ring caught on something, and basically
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, he basically stripped the skin off of his finger
because that little accident happened.
Yeah, because like it caught on the metal, and when it pulled the ring off, it ripped the skin off his finger.
Ooh, fuck, man.
So if you actually if you ever look at really close, I don't think he wears a wedding ring anymore, and you can see like a scar on his hand.
Wow.
So like after that happened, I started wearing like silicone wedding bands at my job. Would wear this then at home. So then the pandemic hits, and I kind of stopped eating, and the stress and everything. I dropped a lot of weight.
Yep.
To the point where my wedding band wouldn't stay on my hand.
It fall off.
It would fall off. So, and then once I found weight again, it made friends while it was away, and I got to the point where I couldn't wear it anymore because my hand was too big, so I bought like bigger silicone bands. But now this year I'm back to being able to wear it and wear it comfortably, because when I first put it on, when I started losing some weight, I first put it on, it was tight, but it fits properly now. So it's like just these little wins, or you look in the mirror, and like I said, I like cut my hair and like shaved around my goatee yesterday, and I'm like, I can actually like physically see and notice a difference in my face and everything. And it's just like, man, it feels good, because not that I didn't really get to a point where I was like super beating myself up, but there was times where I looked in the mirror and I thought, man, like what this has become.
Yeah, I guess that, bro.
Is somewhat almost unrecognizable. And I thought I was looking older, and just I thought I was starting to look unhealthy. And not certainly look. I certainly still have a lot of way to go. But
once you start, you know how to do, and you know how to do it. It becomes something that is easier.
And I don't, and one thing that we've stressed from the beginning is to not make it like super strict and super restrictive. So like, if we want to have a day where, so last Friday, for example, Halloween, we went over to friends of ours to hand out candy and do trick or treat. They have a neighborhood, ton of kids. So we went over to their house. We got pizza, and we ate dinner and handed out candy. I ate 4 pieces of pizza. I drank 3 beers. I ate a Snickers bar and a pack of peanut M&Ms. My dinner was more than my daily calories.
Wow.
But I didn't beat myself up about it, because literally before that day, it had been over a month since I hit or went over my daily limit.
Oh, there you go.
So
there you go. I mean, it's fine.
You again, not going to tell anybody how to live their life, but for us, it's like you have to let yourself enjoy life at sometimes, because especially for 2 reasons. One, it's been a shitty year. It just has for a lot of people.
Bro, it's a shitty year every year now. Though.
In a lot of years, so in a lot of ways. So like, if I want to have a fucking 3 beers and a candy bar, I hate a fucking Snickers bar when I came down into the studio tonight.
There you go.
Do it. It's okay. It's okay. Walk an extra half mile tomorrow.
Punish yourself.
but also, no, I don't even look at it that way. It's like it's okay. It's literally okay. But also, you never know when your number's up. You never know when your number's up.
Yeah.
So like I can sit here and eat 6 peas for breakfast and a bowl of steam for lunch, and I can be as healthy as I want to be. But if if my number gets called, if I'm in a car accident, if natural causes, whatever, like you don't know what's going to happen. And what was it for? Like what was it like?
Exactly.
And again, it's about finding balance and being okay with it. So
Yeah.
and just I think I've just hit a much healthier mindset and approach to how I should live.
I'm with you, brother. Anyway, anything you want to plug?
Well, yeah. I mean, I got my podcast stuff. So, at Big Jim Sports, Twitter, Blue Sky. My link tree is there. It takes you to all my projects. 3CT. I guess when is this going to air tonight?
Immediately.
Okay. So Thursday we'll be live 8:00 on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. That's the Thursday show. That's the more wrestling focused one. We have the Tuesday podcast, which hits a podcast feed. And then Huddle Up Podcast. We're in about halfway through the year, which is insane already. But
kudos to you and Sean, your brother, for holding it down. Because I mean, this has been the first year where we haven't really had a stable panel. Like I've been there most weeks, but I've missed a couple episodes here. Obviously, Mike and Kyle and Matt have jumped in when they needed to, but
man, so, the funny part about it, honest to God, so this is year like 15, I think 14 or 15, since I first started doing it, and the whole idea behind it was for me and my brother to do a show together because
pro soccer now. Look at that.
We look kind of alike, we sound kind of alike, but besides Notre Dame and the Phillies, we don't disagree on, or we don't agree on any teams. I'm a Capitals fan. He's a Flyers fan. I'm a, obviously I'm an Orioles fan. He's Phillies. I'm okay with the Phillies, but then I'm a Cowboys fan. He's an Eagles fan. So like it was kind of this fun concept of because I think at that time Mike Golick Jr. had a radio show. So it's like it was like the father-son thing. This is kind of the two brothers. But his schedule and my schedule just didn't really mesh out. So that's where I had to find other people. And luckily he's been able to, work it into his schedule a little bit better. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Who would have thought he'd been the constant in the last 2 years? Like I don't think, I think he's missed, like, I think in the last 2 years, other than prior to me being out this season a little bit, he's been the most consistent member of the podcast.
Yeah, I would have lost a bet on that. I certainly would have lost a bet on that. But yeah, we're having a lot of fun with it. So we have our YouTube channel. We're live there, Facebook and Twitch on Tuesday nights. But I have content hitting the feed every day. We have our show segments. We have the shorts. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, man. Anyway, great job as always, man. Love sitting and talking to you. But this shit. Awesome stuff, bro.